Today we have a very special guest. We're here in beautiful Akumal Bay Beach and Wellness Resort. And our guest today is the wedding coordinator for the resort, Antinea Garcia.
Hi guys, how are you?
She handles all of the details, anything that you need to know. This is your contact person. I'm going to put her contact information in the description of the video, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down. Just pay attention because I've got your questions. I've got them ready. But first we're going to jump into Antinea. When you're first contacted by a bride, typically what is it that they're most concerned about?
They're most concerned about decoration, normally. So that's the thing that they are always concerned, because normally what they find in other venues is just plain white tablecloths and chairs and things like that. So in particular, what it helps us a lot over here is that we design every wedding. So that's the look of the wedding, because they are not coming here to the paradise and the ocean and everything just to get white tablecloths.
Right, right.
So we design every wedding. So normally we contact them for planning 4 months before, and we send them forms for them to give us a lot of pictures. We recommend a lot of pictures of what they like and what they want for the wedding, and then they come with the pictures and we design from that.
Okay. How far in advance typically do you need to have a wedding booked?
Okay. The wedding needs to be booked, like the ideal, it's 1 year before.
Okay.
And I will tell you why. We don't have a problem with doing it 4 months, 1 month before in the part of the planning of the event, because we have everything figured out. The thing is the rooms.
Oh, yes.
So, for example, in February are a little bit tricky days for the booking of the rooms, because you know that everybody wants to get out of their winter.
That's true.
So they want a little bit of sun and everything, and that's a very pretty season for the rooms.
Oh,
the
yes.
room part. So normally 1 year before, that would be the ideal. But if they want, and we have had weddings that have booked 2 years before.
Oh,
And that's amazing, because you can figure out a lot of things, but it depends on them. But the ideal is 1 year before, but of course if you want to ask us for a space and the event over here, we're willing to do anytime. And we have had weddings, for example, the elopements and the vow renewal, things like that, that are maybe even 2 weeks before. We have had weddings that
That's short.
we are already going. Can we renew our vows? Of course. Yeah. So we can do that as well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. When somebody is looking to book a wedding or a vow renewal, do you typically have where you'll only do one per day, or can you do more than one per day?
No,
Just
we
one per
only
day?
do one per day, because we have all the attention of the staff and everything just in one way.
So if you're looking at last minute, you need to be flexible on the day. Okay. Okay. So when you are booking, usually the weather isn't as beautiful as it is today. It's absolutely perfect and pristine, but there can be rain, there can be wind. How do you accommodate for that?
Normally, you know that the rain is like a few minutes, so it's like 15 minutes. So if we have to hold on for the ceremony to do, it's okay. So we normally, for the ceremony and cocktail, we don't have a lot of changes to do. Of course, we always have a plan B, that it can be the yoga palapa for ceremony, just the ceremony. And for the reception, we have the wedding salon, that is the part that is behind the buffet. That's the part that we use for plan B for the reception part.
Okay. And I've seen some beautiful setups, beautiful. You can't always see the ceremony because it's a little off to the side of the resort and very private. So you're not going to have people walking through your ceremony site.
Very
So
private.
I haven't seen them in person, but I have seen pictures, and I'm going to drop a bunch of pictures in here. So it's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yes.
And what about for guests? Typically, if they book a block of rooms, do they get any kind of a discount on that?
Yes, if you do the bookings directly with the hotel, they give you a group rate that is lower normally than the rest. Of course, we also have to mention this. Sometimes online, you can find some things because online it's very, how do you say, it changes a lot because they have flash promotions, things like that.
Okay.
So there is maybe one day that you can find a booking for a lower price, and if you do, please, people, book it. book it with that price. But normally, in the average rate that you will find, the group rate will be lower.
Okay.
And why am I saying this? And this is also important because in this hotel we don't get you to do the event attached to a group booking.
Okay.
Because of that. Because we know that depending on the market or the place that you are coming from, you will find maybe a flash promotion sometimes, or maybe a package with the flights, because the flights normally lower their price. It's not practically us, it's normally the tour operators and everything. So you are not obligated to have this with the other thing. So events are separate from booking, and that is the reason. So you don't have to tell people you have to book with this person or with the hotel, or they can book
and you
what
can get
they
your
want,
last minute guests,
how they want, with whomever, and then just come to your wedding. And
just be aware
okay.
that the hotel does book up, so as far in advance as you can, get that booked.
Get that booked. Yes.
On the packages for the weddings, do you have certain packages that you offer?
We have packages. We have packages from vows renewal or just an elopement, like 2 people, from 10 people. We have packages from 20 people, 12 to 20, 20 to 30. We have 30, 50, 60. This is our max. And then if you
60
want...
is the max.
No, 60 is the max included on a package.
Oh, in the package.
And then from there, in any of the packages, you can add people. Our maximum amount of people that we can host a wedding for is 120 guests.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And of course, if you get to 80 with that last package, you get like a tent for your event included.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And if you just wanted the tent, how hard is it to add that on? If you just wanted the tent?
It depends on your size, because normally it gets in between $1,000 to $2,000.
Okay.
Because we need a lot of people to bring that up and set it up and then tear it down, and so it's a whole structure and needs to be very firm, because you know that the wind is sometimes is really, and it has curtains and you can lower them down, and so then and then if you want, you can add like a twinkle sky on them, so that's an extra. But it's depending on, for example, we have one that it's like 3 meters, 10 per 10, and we have a dome that it's 20 meters per 10 meters, and then it's a 5 meter
Wow.
So that's another thing.
That's something I haven't seen before. You'll have to
I will show
me
you
some pictures
yes.
that we
I
can add
will
onto here.
pictures.
Definitely. And when they're coming to Mexico to be married, is it more advisable for them to have like a civil ceremony before they come because of requirements here? What are the requirements here?
Yes, the requirements here are very particular, and they take things out and in according to their needs. So, for example, the last thing that they added was they need to pay, like it's not a lot, and it's included on our prices for a legal wedding.
Okay.
But they need to do like parent, like child support research to see if they don't owe. Like, of course, it's in Mexico, but they will search if you don't owe like child support to anyone here in Mexico. Because if you do, you cannot get married.
That's actually good.
And it's a good thing, but it's just like comes in and out, and things like that can be added. Of course, with the prices that we have we take care of that. Like you already have like your things that you are paying for the legal wedding, and we will respect that price once you sign an agreement. That is up to us.
Now, is there like a blood test? There used to be a blood test.
Yes, there is a blood test, and this is to see if you match. If you want to have kids, you need to know if maybe your bloods are not matched, just to make a little like test when you get pregnant, but it's just to advance and for STDs.
And how long before the wedding day are you expected to have that done?
Normally, you have it done at like the results need to be at least 2 days before.
2 days, okay.
And it's work days, so that Saturday and Sunday, count. So we ask you to come 4 days before, so you can get here. Next day, you make the blood test, and on that very day or the next, we have the results, and then you can get married.
And you guide them in that process where to go and have that done. Okay.
Of course, you need to know as well that if you want to register your civil matrimony over here in your country, you need to take some papers that takes time. So once you get your ceremony over here and you sign all the papers and put your fingerprints and all your witnesses and everything, we get that document. We give you like an original copy of the document to you for you to take, but you cannot do much with that. We need to take it to another place where we have like an international agreement with several countries where they get like an apostille for you to be able to register the matrimony, and then they send us to translate with a professional that is also registered on that agreement, so it's like certified, and then we send the papers to you because it takes about a month and a half
like
to
quite a
get all
process.
of that, and then with that you can register in your country, and you need also to check if it's if your country it's part of the agreement, because sometimes you get all the papers. For example, UK does not do any longer this like certification of the matrimony over there. So you need to know that if you want to do it, it's okay. You will be married legally over here, but you cannot register that matrimony on the UK, for example.
Okay, that's good information. I mean, I know that that's true of a lot of different countries, that they're very specific about you'll need to be civilly married in their country as well. That's actually a very simple process. When we're talking about reception, as far as alcohol, is it included in the package pricing? And is there limitations? What types of alcohol? I get that question a lot.
Well, I will get you another question to answer.
Okay.
Normally, people says, okay, so if alcohol, if I'm getting an all-inclusive and I'm paying a rate for the all-inclusive and it includes alcohol, why you are charging for the event?
Right.
We practically, and it's in the package, if you want extra hours or any other service that it's not in the places and for everyone that we have already designed for the all-inclusive, it gets an extra price, and it's because what we actually charge is the staff. So what you are paying is not really the alcohol per se, it's the staff that they need to set up the whole bar for your events, and they need to get ready all the things, the furniture, the places, and you will see in the pictures, this is not like, and I would like for us to do a little before and after, so they can see, for example, the location, how it looks without the setup and with the setup, so they can actually see what we are talking about. Because this is not like plastic chairs, these are wooden tables, and they're heavy and they need to be really nice, and we paint them and put everything in together, and they tear down everything, and then we pay for transportation as well for them to go home, besides all the cleaning and everything that involves like a whole event like that with the quality that we are giving the bride, the groom, and the guests.
Right.
So that is practically what you pay. What includes, for example, the packages. The packages, the first package that is just 2 people, and the second package that is 1 to like 10 to 20, for example, 22. They include a dinner reservation in the Rodicio restaurant because they don't need like the whole private event. They
Right.
just want, for example, a ceremony, and we try to put it a little extra and give them like a dinner, right? So it's a dinner reservation. But we have other packages that have a private event for reception, and that includes 4-course meal, so the cake, and international bar that is the same that you have over here. And we actually ask, for example, what they drink the most before.
Okay.
So we have of course, we have the alcohol here, but
Yeah.
but of course,
question
we
about
need
that.
to have it there, you
Right.
know, in the
Yeah.
amounts of their needs. So we do that as well. And of course, the cocktails for the cocktail hour. So that's pretty handy because they are taking pictures after the ceremony, and after that they go to another area where they can have a drink with the mariachi music and
nice.
everything while they are going and coming taking pictures. Maybe the moms and the dads and the whole family, and then the bridal party, and then the family of the bride, the family of the groom. And while they are doing that, they can just come and go and have drinks.
Oh, that's
So they don't have to stand there in the sun. So
Right.
that is also included in the packages with the private event.
And what about for the entertainment side of it? What different kinds of things have you done for just for music alone?
We have done everything that you can imagine. So the packages only include a speaker where you can put your own device and they have a microphone. And if you want to add a DJ, lights, everything like that, you can. We have vendors. We have everything that you may want. But we have done like water drums. We have done
Water drums.
We have done water drums. We have done like shows like Aztec. We have done like LED lights shows.
Oh, okay.
We have done like a Mexican folklore dancing shows. We have done live music, of course. We have done maybe other things like the 360 photo booth or the traditional photo booth with the props. We have done cigar rollers. We have
Oh,
done
that's
a cartoonist.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
That's getting very popular.
we have done, how do you say this is, ¿cómo se llama esto? Es como like marquesitas stand,
Okay.
or
My
You
daughter
name
wants
it.
to have a fire dancer.
Yeah.
Hers. Have you ever done anything like that? Or there's
we
like, folklore
have,
there?
but we have to check on the location because and the setups, because fire in here,
Yeah,
it's
fire
a
is not
no-no
good.
in a lot of things. Like for example, we have done sparklers, but they are like a cold
Okay.
fire, like
Like a low
pyrotechnic.
temperature.
The pyrotechnics are like cold pyrotechnics.
Okay.
Because in here this is a protected area, as you know, so the turtles and everything, so we don't allow, and that's another thing that you need to know, like for example these Cambodian lambs, because they get over there and then you don't know where they will,
You'll end up with a
And-
turtle in your reception.
maybe in the palapa.
Who knows?
Or traditional fireworks we don't do because
Yeah.
it's a protected area, and fire shows we can do, but it needs to be a specific area that it's open and with several things and measurements. So
And you've got access to different vendors like MCs.
anything that,
So that if they want to have an MC or a
Of
DJ.
yes, and it's also important for you to know that DJs can make announcements like normal announcements, but if you want an MC that is a professional that does a little bit more of a warming of the people, we also have those services available. And we have had amazing like family members that MC.
Oh, I'm sure.
That that's my favorite because they know them, so they
Uh-huh.
know which joke they will like and which thing, and they can do that as well.
Okay. Okay. That's really good. All right. I was thinking about something else. Just popped right out of my head. Oh, the officiants. We get a lot of questions about, well, what types of officiants are available, and if I want a family member to officiate, is that legal?
It is not legal, but what we do, if you have a legal wedding with us, it doesn't matter if you have it like legal or not, you will always get a minister from us.
Okay.
Included on the packages. Why? Because the legal ministers are not very good at English,
Oh.
and they are pretty like officials, so they don't get like the emotion that you need for your wedding, like for example when the vows and the rings and things like that. So we always get you, if you have a legal or symbolic ceremony, you will have a minister.
Okay.
So they can do like a special thing, and they can open and say hello to everyone, to thank the people. So like it's a whole thing, and it gets very special when it's someone that you like, that you know that they can do that, right?
Yes.
And well. So that's one. And the other thing is that we can find you anything that you want. For example, we have Mayan ceremonies. For that, you don't get a minister, but you can have both.
Is that considered legal, a Mayan ceremony?
No.
Okay, I didn't think it was.
It is considered legal for the chamanes over here. So that's like another thing. It depends of your beliefs.
Okay. But if they've already done a civil ceremony, none of that even matters.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. A lot of people are thinking, we'll just get married civilly, and then we'll come and we won't tell anyone we're already married.
And they can have relatives or friends that want to host the ceremony, and that's okay. We what we do is that we get them like in a rehearsal, and we do notes for them to know, because it's not only like the speech that needs to be special, it's also the picture, because this is, people, what you will have for the rest of your life. Okay, so the picture is very important, so we give notes. So where should we think it's the best for them to stand in the different parts of the ceremony. Like for example, we try to get them into the other side when they close the ceremony, so they can have the clear picture with the ocean, the bright, things like that. If they want to do that or not, that's up to them. We only suggest things that
that's
we
a wonderful idea.
already know that it's good for them, but it's up to them. And we also have carpets, for example, because sometimes the family members get there with a paper, and we don't know how the wind is going to be, and sometimes it's really chill like now,
Right.
but sometimes it's like sure that. So we try to get them like a carpet for them to be able to work with, because they have a microphone with them and they need to do some things, right? So we help them as much as we can, and we are very happy, of course, if they bring their own minister, because we know that they enjoy their people and they want someone special
what
to
the
do
minister
that.
need to do to, are they, just because they're a minister, they're able to legally marry someone, or do they need to do something extra?
No, if you want a legal, you have to go with the government office.
Okay.
And always bring the judge and everything. What the judge does is just they come, the minister does the ceremony, and at a certain point, when it's time to sign the certificate, of course, with our minister you will get a symbolic certificate that is really nice and really pretty, and you will like it a lot. But if you have a legal ceremony, they will, at the time of the signatures, present the judge, and then the judge will come, take your signatures, and be the witness, of course, of the legal ceremony, that everyone's there, check out with the IDs and with the fingerprints, and then they go out, and then the minister closes the ceremony as it should be.
Okay. And something else to consider is if you are going to be transporting that beautiful certificate have some kind of like a poster wall that you can tuck it into, or it's going to be ruined, and that would be sad. So when we're talking about guests coming, a lot of times you have people that have that they are physically challenged. And what kind of accommodation is there? I know the resort is very much set up in being
Correct.
very accessible, including down to the beach. But out to the ceremony side, is it as well? Is it accessible?
And there is not only that, not only the challenge person to have, like for example, a wheelchair. If you want one, we have one that we
Okay.
can lend you. Or if you want just one for, I don't know, your grandmother to be taken over there, we can lend you that. And it's also people with kids, people that want to be near the location because they don't walk as much, or near to the part of the buffets and everything because they don't walk as much. So what we do is when we get to planning 4 months before, we send a guest list with 3 parts. The first part is you get us the names of the people that is staying together, and we find out where they book, with who they book, like if it's Tourapay or Expedia, if it's part of your group over here, everything. And we send you this with one space at the end where you give us your requests.
Okay.
So 1 bed, 2 beds, a lower floor, far away from the bride and groom. You can do everything. You can put everything. You know, there is people that I want to be as far as possible because this is my honeymoon as well,
Right.
So you never
That
know.
makes sense.
So
I don't wanna
or
be next door to my
are
mother-in-law.
near as possible to my friends, not my family, or my family, not my. It's up to them. So if they let us know, we work with that. Amazing.
Okay. And then what about people with food allergies, that kind of thing? That's all going to be on that informational form. They just fill that
Same
in so
thing.
that you know.
Yes, the second part of that document has like the seating chart.
Okay.
So you give us how many tables and names and the notes. And also in the planner, they said if you are vegan, if you are vegetarian, if they have allergies, and we need to know where they are sitting, so we attend that particular need.
Right. Okay. Okay. That I've seen all over the resort a lot of accommodation for people with different kinds of allergies, and I like that they're asking now as you go into a restaurant now. It's do you have any allergies? First question you're asked before you're even seated, and that's a really positive change. A lot of people worry about that when they're thinking about booking is, well, what am I going to eat when I'm there? I'm allergic to this, or I'm gluten-free, or I'm a vegetarian. Is there even anything there for me?
And actually, we have you have 2 options. For example, for vegetarian and vegan people, you can choose their menus or let them choose their menus because when we send you the menu options, we send a vegetarian and a vegan sheet with options, so they can choose, or they can, or you can, if you don't want to ask because I don't know, you can just send us a note and we tell the chef, and he will do a vegan or vegetarian version of your menu. So it depends on what you want, because sometimes people, well, their things, so, and we will take care of that. You don't need to even ask. And we have also children menu because they don't need as much and they don't need the same.
Yeah, and they don't want all that fancy stuff.
Correct. So we have like baked chicken with chips or with potatoes and different things, and at the end ice cream maybe. They don't like as much like the creme brulee with like they just want ice cream or a cake. So we do that. We do that.
Speaking of cake, do you make the cake here? Do you contract with a baker?
It depends on what you want. For example, the cakes included in the contract, in the packages are amazingly good.
Really?
Normally we do like give you the option of vanilla and chocolate, but we always put like if you want another flavor, you put it there and we ask the chef, and if it's possible, for example, we have done red velvets, we have done tres leches, we have done carrot cake that was amazing as well, or depending on your taste. We ask the chef, and if he can do it. But the frosting is white,
Okay.
and it's cream. If you want
The fondant.
fondant, then we need to go with another baker, and this is a little bit extra. I do not recommend it because in here with the heat, the fondant gets wet and it sweats.
Yes.
So you don't need that. But if you want, we can do that as well. And the other recommendation for cakes that we have had a lot, and it's really good, it's for them to bring their own cake topper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we have like the figurines of him and her, or their last name, Mr. and Mrs. Whatever they want to bring, they can.
Okay.
And they include flowers in the cake. And we have an option on the planner for $15 for extra flowers if you just want to get
Okay.
a bunch of them.
Okay.
But it's up.
And then that takes us right into flowers.
Wow.
Do you have a specific florist that you work with? There's several.
It depends on the package. Where it's, for example, the packages of vows renewal or an elopement, that it's a small package, we ask for a florist to come over here and give us the flowers, like the medallion and everything. We have a catalog of bouquets that have different options of flowers. Of course, and always, if you want something in particular, send it to us and we will check if it's within budget, and if it's not, we will tell you what's the extra cost. Normally, every look can be matched with flowers from here. And this is another thing that we have to talk about flowers, because some people get, for example, like the ideas of getting a lot of flowers, winter flowers, and these are not very good over here. They cost extra because they need to be transported in freezers or with climate. And over here, as soon as you get them out of in the sun, they just die. So we recommend for you to let us work with that. We will match any look with flowers that we have over here within budget, and you will have an amazing wedding with flowers live from beginning to end. So that's also important to consider. And for the other weddings that have private events, we have a flower like office over here, like a workshop space where they actually put everything together the same morning. They bring them like 1 day, 2 days, depending on how many times they need to bloom. So everything is practically fresh when it gets to your table or to your bouquet.
Oh, and the flowers, every time I see any flower arrangements here, they are always just stunning.
So that's normally we work with the florist that brings out the flowers, they bloom them here, and then they work with them here, so they are not transported and everything falling out.
Right.
And they actually put them into place and finish the work on your table.
And how far in advance are you usually getting these final things in from the brides? What's basically the cutoff? We can't make any more changes after this.
It's a month and a half. 45 days more or less is what we ask. Of course, if you have any other needs and maybe one people is surprising you and it's coming now and he wasn't or she wasn't, it's not a problem.
Okay.
But it's important for like the overall. It's not the same. Like for example, I have 2 or 3 more guests, that's manageable. That if we have like 20 guests, like that's another thing. Everything after the month, it's under availability, but if it's possible, it's good.
And then the table arrangements. Popularity kind of ebbs and flows. Sometimes they want the rectangles, sometimes they want the round tables. And is that a possibility that they can specifically say, I only want this kind of table, or I want a mix of tables?
Yes, we have round tables and we have rectangular tables. We have wooden color like this, and we have white, and we have tablecloths. So if they want a mix and match of those.
And do you have samples that they see that they can say, I want this with that?
I have pictures. The tablecloths, that's a little bit trickier because we have like different amount of tablecloths in different colors and everything, and that's a whole thing that we need to figure out, like a catalog. But it's a little bit tricky. But if you have your colors and your color palette, just trust us. We will do whatever you want to do, and mostly what they ask us is just naked tables and with a runner, and runners is the same. So if we have the loop, we can work with that as well.
Okay. And if they've committed to one package, and then later on they think, I want to upgrade to more, or we really want more.
Like from our 100% weddings, like 80% ends up upgrading the wedding, and it's okay. Yes.
Okay. So they don't have to worry about, oh no, you purchased this package and now we're going to have to completely redo the contract.
No. Once you get to planning, I have like, please consider the other package because it will give you like other things, and with the price that you are paying for extra guest in this, you will get this included and things like that. So they can do that.
Perfect. And when they're contacting, you're the sole contact. They don't have to feel like they need to contact a concierge, or that they can just work directly through you, through your email. And what's typical turnaround time for a response of an email? Because brides can be pretty freaky, as you know.
No. Well, they do have to contact another person just for rooms.
Okay.
Because as I said, we manage separately, right? So if they want, for example, to do their rooms through the travel agent, the tour operator, their online channel, or the hotel, that's the other contact that they will have. For the event, everything is with me. Okay? So that only with me, no one else, because sometimes I have been like getting emails from everyone, everywhere, from the weddings they are already planning, but it's everything regarding the events is with me. And the other question was?
The photographer, are they going to have to contact the photographer separately?
I will get them in contact with the photographer in a certain point because they need to know like specific things. With the events, after we get to planning, people that you may contact after we get to planning, but I'm always in copy and I'm always in charge of everyone. It's DJ, photographer or videographer, and if you have an external vendor.
Oh, that was my other question, is can they bring in an outdoor photographer?
They can bring in an outdoor photographer. If it's a local photographer, it generates a vendor fee. If they are part of their family, or if they are staying here at the hotel, no fee.
So if they're staying here,
If they're staying here,
fee.
there is no addition.
Okay, that's good to know. It's good to know. And if they book them, if they're, for instance, they book somebody from Playa del Carmen, what's going to be that additional fee for the photographer?
The fee is $300, and they can, like for example, they can access at the hour that they tells us, and at the end of the event if they need to be. And also we offer like a meal for the vendors.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah, because like people's working, so
they gotta eat.
Yes,
You want them to stay on their feet.
Please
all
consider that everyone eats and drinks.
Okay, and then I know that there are a lot of people that bring wedding coordinators with them. How much of a problem is that, working with an outside wedding coordinator, trying to work together? Have you done it before?
I have done it.
And how does that work for you?
Well, sometimes they can like suggest things that are maybe different of what we do. And normally we explain what, like our way and why is that, because we know the stuff and we know the behind of everything. But if everything is manageable, like we don't have any problems, like, and we haven't had any problems.
There's a lot of wedding expos that are going on right now.
We love them, and we love.
They want to come.
And we love the wedding coordinators, like, from. There are a lot of travel agents that work with the group because they want to make sure that everything is in place, and that's good because they help us a lot with the communication between the group and the staff. Sometimes when you don't get one, what happens is that the bride and groom are on their thing. They need to enjoy their stay.
Yes.
And the guests are all over the place, so that is helpful.
Sometimes extra hands. Wrangling the guests.
A pair of extra hands, and we love it. The dark side, it's that, right? You know, maybe you get an opinion and everything, but
it's going to happen. It can happen with the mother of the bride.
If it's doable, we will do it, and there is no problem with that. It's not an ego fight. It's just what they want.
Oh, I remember the other part of that other question was, what's the typical turnaround time that a bride needs to relax and know that you'll answer within a certain amount of time?
Yes, a certain amount. I normally do 24 hours, like max.
Max. Even on the weekend?
Even on the weekend.
Okay, so because brides can be, doesn't have to be yet.
The only day that I don't answer is Sunday, but on Monday you will have to answer.
Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Brides want you 24 hours a day.
It's okay. It's okay. We understand that, like, that you know me.
I do.
So I am very happy with this job, and it's not a job for me. It's a pleasure always because you get to make people happy. And that's amazing.
It's the most important day of their life.
Of course. And create beautiful things for beautiful people, because we are very lucky here in Akumal, the resort. We have only beautiful people that dance every year. So it's amazing to be able to be part of that special day for someone and to make like dreams come true. So that's what can you ask?
It's the best job in the world.
Yeah, best job in the world.
Well, I can't think of anything else that the brides have asked me to ask you. If you can think of anything else you want to toss in there?
Well, I already told you when we started, but the thing that makes us special, of course, besides the hotel and the staff, that it's very friendly and you already know the place because of Terry, and we really thank you for that. It's that your wedding will be unique. You will get to pick like all your look. We have the best locations, very private locations, and very cozy locations as well. You are not just so no one is going to come and go. You will have clean pictures. You will have the amazing view. So that's the thing that you need to consider over here if you have a wedding. To be unique, to be private, and to be special, and you will be treated special because that's our thing over here.
That's very true.
Feel special and make your dreams come true. That's what we want. We don't want to make like the same wedding every week. That's not fun.
No.
And that's not fair because you are paying a lot already to come over here to get just white tablecloths and plastic chairs. So
unless that's what you want.
Unless
that's what you want. Okay.
That's okay.
But most of us don't want.
We can do that as well.
That's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
You probably get that maybe in a week's planning. Now, I want to thank Antinea. She's been a great guest. We've gotten a lot of great answers. And like I said, I'm putting her contact email in the description. If you have any questions for her, feel free to contact her. She knows this resort and this area inside and out. She can answer questions even beyond weddings, but try to keep it to weddings. I thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to put a bunch of images and video at the end of this so you can kind of see her work. Thanks. Bye.